and welcome to Buenas Tardes. I'm Victoria, as you all know, and I am here with my friend Forrest.
Hi, internet people.
So I haven't done one of these in a while. Like the last couple videos we did were all recordings, so we're going to have a theme video. Our word of the week is permaculture. Would you like to define that for us?
Yeah, I would. I'll try and describe it as briefly as possible, but basically it is a broad concept. It was a movement started by hippie farmers in Australia in the 1970s, basically uniting wholesome gardening and engineering and thought. It's really a lifestyle, the type of thing that will allow humanity to exist for a longer time on planet Earth.
And the reason why this is our word of the week is because we're kind of having an eco-friendly theme this particular week. And as a result, my lovely friend Forrest knows the Lorax by heart and has for several years. He's been debating about putting it on the internet for a while, so I was like, let's go on the web show. So as our eco-friendly theme, he will be reciting the Lorax for you. You ready?
Why not? At the far end of town, where the grickle grass grows, and the wind blows slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing, excepting old crows, is the street of the lifted Lorax. Now deep in the grickle grass, some people say that if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood, just as long as he could, before someone lifted the Lorax away. Now what was the Lorax, and why was he there, and how did he get lifted and taken somewhere from the far end of town where the grickle grass grows? The old Onceler still lives here. Ask him, 'cause he knows. You won't see the Onceler. Don't knock on his door. He stays in his lurkum at the top of his store. He lurks in his lurkum, cold under the roof, where he makes his own clothes out of muffered moof. And on special, dank midnights in August, he peeks out of the shutters, and sometimes he speaks, and he tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you, perhaps, if you're willing to pay. On the end of a rope he lets down a tin pail. You have to toss in 15 cents and a nail, and the shell of a great grandfather snail. Then he pulls up the pail, makes a most careful count to see that you paid him the proper amount, and he hides what you paid him away in his snub, his secret strange hole in his grovelous glove. And then he grunts, "Well, I will call you by whisper, my phone, for the secrets I tell are for your ears alone." Schlup! Down schlups the whisper-mophone to your ear, and the old Onceler's whispers are not very clear, since they have to come down through a snurgly hose, and he sounds if he has smallish bees up his nose. "Now I'll tell you," he says, with his teeth sounding gray, "how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long time back. Way back in the days when the grass was still green, and the pond was still wet, and the clouds were still clean, and the song of the Swami swans rang out in space. One morning I came to this glorious place, and I first saw the trees, the truffula trees, the bright-colored tufts of the truffula trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. And under the trees I saw brown barbaloots frisking about in their barbaloot suits as they played in the shade and ate truffula fruits. From the rippleless pond came the comfortable sound of humming fish humming while splashing around. But those trees, those truffula trees. All my life I'd been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tufts was much softer than silk, and they had the sweet smell of fresh butterfly milk. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what to do. I unloaded my cart, and in no time at all, I had built a small shop. Then I chopped down one truffle tree with one chop. Then with great skillful skill, and with great speedy speed, I took the soft tuft, and I knitted a thneed. The instant I'd finished, I heard a gazump. I looked. I saw something pop out of the stump of the tree I chopped down. It was sort of a man. Describe him? That's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish, brownish and mossy, and he spoke with a voice that was sharpish and bossy. "Mister," he said with a sawdusty sneeze, "I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees, for the trees have no tongues, and I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs." He was very upset as he shouted and puffed, "What's that thing you've made out of my truffle tuft?" "Look, Lorax," I said, "there's no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. See, I'm doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a thneed to find something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat, but it has other uses, yes, far beyond that. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains, or covers for bicycle seats." The Lorax said, "Sir, you are crazy with greed. There was no one on earth who would buy that fool thneed." But the very next minute, I proved he was wrong. For just at that minute, a chap came along. Thought the thneed I knitted was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. "You poor stupid guy. You never can tell what some people will buy." "I repeat," cried the Lorax, "I speak for the trees." "I'm busy," I told him. "Shut up, if you please." I rushed across the room, and in no time at all, I built a radio phone. I put in a quick call. I called all my brothers, uncles, and aunts, and I said, "Listen here. Here's a wonderful chance for the whole Onceler family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast. Take the road to North Nitch. Sharp left at Weehawken. Sharp right at South Stitch." And in no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Onceler family was working full tilt. We're all knitting thneeds, busy as bees, to the sounds of the chopping of truffle trees. And then, well, oh baby, oh, how my business did grow. Soon, chopping one tree at a time was just too slow. So I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which could whack off 4 truffle trees in one smacker. We were making thneeds 4 times as fast as before. And that Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. But the next week, he knocked on my new office door. "I'm the Lorax who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping just as fast as you please. But I'm also in charge of the brown barbaloots who played in the shade in their barbaloot suits and happily lived eating truffle fruits. But now, thanks to your hacking my trees to the ground, there's not enough truffle fruit to go around. And my poor barbaloots, they're all getting the crummies because they have gas and no food in their tummies. They love living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food, and I hope that they may. Good luck, boys," he cried, and he sent them away. I, the Onceler, felt sad as I watched them all go, but business is business. Business must grow, regardless of crummies and tummies, you know. I meant no harm. I most truly did not. But I had to grow bigger. So bigger I got. I biggered my factory, I biggered my roads, I biggered the wagons, I biggered the loads of the thneeds I shipped out. I was shipping them forth to the south, to the east, to the west, to the north. And I went right on biggering, selling more thneeds, and I biggered my money, which everyone needs. Then again, he came back. I was fixing some pipes when that old nuisance Lorax came back with more gripes. "Onceler," he coughed, And he whiffed, he sneezed, and he snuffled, he snargled, he sniffed. "Onceler," he cried with a cruffless croak, "Onceler, you're making such smogless smoke. My poor swami swans, why they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smog in his throat. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape from the smog you've smogged up around here." "What's more," snapped the Lorax, his dander was up, "let me say a few words about gluppity-glup. Also schloppity-schlop. Your machinery chugs on day and night without stop, making gluppity-glup, and also schloppity-schlop. And what do you do with this leftover goo? I'll show you, you dirty old onceler man, you. You're glumping the pond where the humming fish hummed. No more can they hum, for their gills are all gummed. So I'm sending them off. Oh, their future is dreary. They'll walk on their fins and get woefully weary in search of some water that isn't so smeary." And then, well, I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at the Lorax, "Now listen here, Dad. All you do is yap, yap, yap and say bad, 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 bad." "Well, I have my rights, sir, and I am telling you, I intend to go on doing just what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm figuring on biggering and biggering and biggering and biggering and biggering, turning more truffula trees into thneeds, which everyone needs." And just at that minute, we heard a loud whack. From outside in the fields came the sickening smack of an axe on a tree. Then we heard the tree fall, the very last truffula tree of them all. No more trees, no more needs, no more work to be done. So in no time at all, my uncles, aunts, everyone, all got into my cars and drove away beneath the smoke-smuggered stars. Now all that was left under this bad-smelling sky was my big empty factory, the Lorax and I. The Lorax, he said nothing, just gave me a glance. Just gave me a very sad backwards glance. And I'll never forget the grim look on his face when he heasted himself, took leave of this place, through a hole in the smog, without leaving a trace. All that the Lorax left here in this mess, small pile of rocks, with one word: unless. Well, whatever that meant, I just couldn't guess. Through the years, while my buildings have fallen apart, I've worried about it with all of my heart. But now, says the onceler, now that you're here, the words of the Lorax seem perfectly clear. Unless someone like you, who cares a whole awful lot, nothing's gonna get better. It's not. So catch, calls the onceler, and he let something fall. It's a truffula seed. It's the last one of all. You're in charge of the last of the truffula seeds, and truffula trees are what everyone needs. Plant a new truffula, treat it with care, give it clean water and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest, protect it from axes that hack. And then the Lorax and all of his friends may come back.